And it is on this day, January 21st, 2024, that I have been on testosterone for 4 months, which is very exciting. We're going to jump right into the voice reading for the month, and then talk about different effects I've had, and again, an update on like dysphoria and euphoria or identity concerns. So, to start off, we're going to do the reading. I have officially named the poem for now. I'm calling it Shifting Tides because I think that's a very fitting name for the poem. So, with that said, we'll read Shifting Tides, written by myself. An inlet of rock and sand by the sea, it is I that you see. For many years the waves lapped against me. I shifted to greet them from time to time, but in others I was shy, hiding my coast. They were an expected presence, a constant in my youth. Slowly, though, I grew tentative of them. I asked the tide, why scrape at me? She answered nothing has changed. Surely something did, for now I feel pain. The waves grew taller all the same. In high tide I reshaped my front, while in low I was left to deliberate. Were allies brought to my tidal gates? Investigating a smooth shell one day, I thought he looked rather plain, but then a friendly claw turned him over, revealing rainbow swirls and tear-streaked truth. I was too quick to blame the tide, too naive to behold the moon. A cove is always changing shape, forming a haven in each wake. An inlet of rock and sand by the sea, it is I that you see. Alright, so, changes I've been noticing this month. I have a list here. They're not in any particular order, so we're just going to go down it. To start, acne. I will say acne has leveled up from last month. It's not necessarily that it's worse or that it lasts longer. It's just that there's a lot of it. So, like, one goes away and, like, another one will appear kind of thing. And again, it's particularly my shoulders. I've always had bad shoulders. It's gotten worse recently. But it's also all over my face now. I get some on my eyebrows, which always hurts. That's like one of the worst spots. So it is a little painful. But been getting a lot of that. Voice cracks. Voice cracks have become a lot more frequent, and I still can't like cheer. I think that's one of the big things. It's like if I go like woo, it always goes like way like high tone, and then there's a certain like level of cheering, like if I am at an audience, where it just cuts off. I just can't do it. I tried to do it the other day. It's just not something I can do. So again, just in my regular sentences, my voice will crack a lot more, especially at the start of sentences. It's because like you're trying to like portray your like enthusiasm about something, and your voice just like it cracks. So that's very noticeable. But I actually find I'm able to sing a lot of my music a lot better if it doesn't go higher. So like some of my music has like some high notes, but I mostly have like deeper male singers, and so I actually found that it's easier to sing my music now, which is great for me, and a lot of fun. So having a good time with that. Sometimes my voice cracks in the middle of the song, but I just find that funny, to be honest. Still had no cycle. Cycle has not come. I think it's gone, which is very nice because 3 months is like the onset for that, and 3 months was exactly when it stopped for me, which is exciting. So I think it's gone. However, I think I am getting cramps. It's very hard to tell if it's cramps or hunger or whatnot because like testosterone does make me more hungry, and I still do eat a lot more, but I think it is cramps, and I don't actually have a way to track my cycle anymore because it's not in a pattern. It's not like how it was before, and so it's just kind of random when it happens, and I just take medicine when it comes up. But they're not like bad. I've never had really bad ones, so it's not like a big deal. I've just been noticing it some mornings in particular. Also, last update, I was always saying that I'm growing hair in all the places I already had hair. Like, I'm just seeing my hair darken. I am at a point now where that hair is longer than it's ever been. Especially like my upper thighs or my stomach. All of that hair has grown a lot longer than I've ever seen it. And so that's very, very noticeable at this point, where it's just like continuing down. I have heard people like have like the forest of hair a bit sooner than this, so I think that's a bit interesting for me. But I've also had people have it much later as well, so we're just going at my pace and we'll see how it goes. But I have definitely been noticing it, especially in the last month. Um, I now have hair growing here under my chin, so like not only chin hair, but like going like up the sides of my chin too. So I'm getting a general outline. I've got the mustache. You can't see it right now, but I do have the mustache and the sideburns are like pretty like decently long now. And then I just have all these random hairs, and I have been shaving some of these hairs down here because I don't know why, I just keep like pulling them, and then I get annoyed by pulling them, so I'll shave them. So I have been doing that recently, and I might have to start looking into like how to shave these efficiently. Um, Facial hair probably isn't gonna like be a real big deal or big thing for a long time. Usually cis men, they have like 1 to 2 years after puberty before they get like the real facial hair coming in. And it's supposed to be kind of like the same thing for taking tea. You get this like mini hair, which I'm doing now, in like the right format. But like being able to like actually grow hair takes a lot of extra time, and so there's gonna be this weird period where you get like a bunch of little hairs and like random spots, but it won't ever like form an actual like beard or anything until you give it enough time. So I'm gonna have to start figuring out how I'll play with that and how I'll like shave it or deal with it as the occasion arises. And then one of the biggest notes I have for this month is that I have been noticing bottom growth, and this is one of those things where when I was telling people my like reasoning and like possible concerns with testosterone, one of them, kind of TMI section, but like one of them I was worried is that that would get very sensitive, because if it's growing and like protruding outward, then it's more revealed and then it's gonna hurt more. And I have been noticing that where it can like actually be uncomfortable sometimes if you're sitting the wrong way or like in like a certain position. And so I've noticed like having to like adjust myself a lot more just because of that. And it's not like a significant amount at all. It's just more than I've ever been used to. And so again, it's just been noticeable for me recently. But I can say that that has been an effect that's been happening. So I think previous months I didn't notice anything, but now I can definitely say that I noticed that that's happening. So very interesting indeed. Can't think of anything else. My hair might have changed texture the slightest bit. I will say it feels different, but that can also just be the weather. It's been especially cold out recently, so it's been more dry, and so hair is going to be more dry. I'm unsure about all that. I do need a haircut, which that's a work in progress, but can't think of much else. Hair. Yeah, I can't think of much else to talk about. Oh, muscle. I am still growing in many ways. Like some areas are bigger. I have worked out a bit in the new year, though not in the last week. So I need to do that. But I am like working the muscles. My shins definitely feel better, which is very good. But I did talk to my doctor, and she did not think that that was an issue to do with that, but just a flexibility thing. So I've been doing stretches, as I talked last time. And I haven't checked my weight, but I'm sure I weigh more. That's just going to be what's happening. So I feel pretty comfortable overall. Going into the last section, I felt pretty good about my gender recently. I can't think of the last time I felt bad about it, per se. I mean, there's some times where I'll look at my hair and I'll just be like, ugh. But sometimes that's just having terrible hair and needing a haircut, which I do. But I've been pretty comfortable with the voice change. It was one of those things I was worried about. I was worried about not liking my voice being deeper or having it like sound different than how I speak in my head or whatnot. But it's still my voice, and it is still my voice. I can still hear me in it. It's just like tonally deeper. So I've been very comfortable with it, and I feel a lot more comfortable talking to people, especially people at school. I think that's one of the big distinctions. Like my friends, I'll always talk the same way, but like people in my class, that's when voice actually matters to me. That's when like voice dysphoria comes up or voice euphoria comes up. Um, and I've noticed that I am like much more comfortable talking to people in my class, uh, and so I think that makes me very happy, and I'm very content to keep working on that and changing it. I will say sometimes the voice cracks are a bit embarrassing. Um, they've been, again, now that they're more frequent, I keep like catching them mid sentence. I'm just like, ugh, oh no. But again, they're silly and people generally understand. It's a normal thing, so it's not too big a deal. Um, I had like a little bit of bottom dysphoria, but like that was it is pretty par of the course for me. It was actually kind of milder than usual, but like again, it had like nothing to do with testosterone changes. It was just like oh man, that sucks. Um, Kind of the same thing with top dysphoria too. There's like a very slight amount, but I can just bind and I'll feel fine. So generally, there's things I can do if I have any discomfort, and sometimes it's just sometimes I run into those reminders of like, oh yeah, I definitely am a trans man because I feel all these things. Um, so I've definitely had that with like thinking about having a flat chest recently. Um, don't have any plans to go into that surgery anytime soon just because of money and how long it takes to recover from it, and also it's surgery. Surgery is pretty much always going to be at least a little bit scary, especially for someone who's scared of needles, this person. Um, so again, it's still not really on my radar right now, but I have been noticing occasionally, I would say like 4 times in the last month, of like the man, I really should have a flat chest kind of feeling. Um, so overall, I feel I'm still on the same track. I'm still taking the same dosage. I didn't change it after my last meeting. And I'm pretty content with the pacing, and I'm generally feeling better, I would say. Um, and a lot of the effects I have now are just the effects I know I'm going to have for a long time, because there's not much I can do about it. So that's pretty much the summary of how everything's going. School has started again, and so, again, I keep promising that I'll make a video that's not an update, and then I don't do it. So, soon, hopefully. I can't say it'll be in the next month, but at some point this semester I will make a video more along the lines of my previous content before I start doing these updates. I did update my book channel about an androgyny book, so if you want to go see something about a book that had themes on androgyny from the 60s, you could go check that out. But otherwise, it'll be a little while longer before I return back to regular content. With all that said, I do have school tomorrow, so I'm gonna go to bed. But I'll see you all in another month or sooner. Bye-bye.